Okay, everybody, nice day outside, sunshine, nice little warm breeze. Snow's all gone, rain's going for, well, better not say anything because it'll be back in 5 minutes if I say anything. But life in the 18th century, some of these tools, a lot of these tools are a lot newer than the 18th century. We're talking 19th century for most of them, and into the 20th century for some. But they are a good representation of timeless tools that have stood the test of time and are still produced. Okay, today we're going to do a little bit of a hewing on a log and showing how to bore a hole. Not boring, because hopefully I'm not going to bore you to death. All right, first of all, we have your little wooden mallet. Okay, that's handy for something I'll show you in a few minutes. You have your offset handled hewing axe, a couple of little handmade, hand-forged drills, hand drills, because remember, they weren't mechanized, so they didn't have a drill press or an actual motorized drill. We have larger drills, augers I should say, because that's what they are, they're augers. We have two adzes. One's a shipwright's adze for dishing out the inside of a log, and the other one's for flattening a log. And we have a couple hewing hatchets, which one is, it's pretty interesting. It's a plumb, and it says New York State on it. And this one is a Collins, United States of America, and it says New York State Department of Works. Kind of funny. Have to buy back what your taxes paid for. So, and we have the large hole boring device, which is a very early drill. This was useful for drilling holes in beams when they made barns. All right, first of all, I'm going to clean this mess off. Hopefully I can get this angle right here, and there's the old 48 CJ2 in the background. We got a project for that thing. That's going to be cool too, but that won't be for a while. Excuse the finger. Okay, see if we can get this angle right without this falling over. All right, and just to move a few pieces. Watch out for the sharp edges, because everything I own is just about razor sharp except for a few items. Okay, well, first of all, we're going to use the hewing adze after we slightly flatten the surface of the log. Now, to slightly flatten the surface of the log, you have hewing hatchet, which is sharpened on one side and flat on the other. That is to pull material up in an upward motion so you can flatten the log. And it's used such as this. Well, I should have used a barking spud first, but this is still wet. Okay, I had to stand here correctly and do it correctly. As you can see, it'll peel up. Maybe better if I do that. It'll take the crown off the log. Doesn't have to be pretty. Actually, we'll move that. Okay, now that you have the crown off the top of the log, we're going to use the adze. This isn't very sharp. I don't want to mess with this because it's original. And it would stand on the log, grasp the adze from the back, Pick it up, let it fall. Pick it up, let it fall. And work their way down the log. And when they're done with one side, they would move around to the other side and chip those off. Yeah, be careful of your footing, especially when messing with this. But very easy. Lift it up, let the weight drop. That's why the end of this is so heavy, the top heavy. You let the weight of the tool do the work. All you have to do is basically a little bit of elbow and wrist motion, and the weight of the tool will do the work for you. Now, for the other adze, the Shipwright's adze, you can see it's has a bowl to it. Tie your boots too, kids. Something I never learned. Now this one is sharp. Does quick work. I'll move around to the other side and see if we can fall off again. Probably can't see it from there. We're actually digging down in and cupping the top of the log. As you can see, the top is rounded. And if I kept going, I could hollow this log right out. All right. And after we flatten the top of the log off, if they want to pin the pieces together using a wooden dowel, all they had to do was grab their handy auger. Now these are nice. These come in handy because you can pack these in. The handle comes right out, fits right in the pack basket. Set this, twist the handle slightly because the handle is a little bit oval. Twist it, and that firmly seats the handle in the eye of the auger. Got to twist it in a little bit. And there we go. We're starting to bore a hole already. A lot of hard work when men were men. And most of the time was of the essence to get a home built, build the forts, build barns, and a lot of it was post and beam, which required a dowel to go in the hole to hold the two pieces together, the two boards together. Okay, here we go. We've already got about an inch deep hole. And now for smaller projects, they would use a smaller hand auger. As you can see, it's dished. I always keep my auger sharp so it cuts easier and it doesn't splinter the outsides. This is hand forged. God only knows when it was made, but it's hand forged. Nicely done handle. You can see the marks in it from where they carved the handle. And they made a little screw on the end, which is necessary to bore into the log. For this one, for a much smaller dowel, you still use two hands because if you don't, the auger won't run true and you won't have a straight hole. It's doing a nice job. The cutting edge is cutting up nice. Now this is awful small for building a barn or a home, but it's useful for projects within the home. or any woodworking. Okay, something I didn't prepare for was a dowel. So, off screen for a second, I'll just grab a miscellaneous piece of wood that's laying around. Shave it down to the size of the hole. Unfortunately, this one's deader than dead. But there you go. Your dowel's in the hole. And it's actually pretty sturdy, even, you know, being only 1.5 inches deep. And it breaks off. Okay. Let me check one thing to make sure we're on center here. Yep, we're fairly on center. So, now, for the boring machine. This one I haven't played with too much. It's the easiest way here. Okay, what they would do is either kneel on these or sit on them, such as this. Has a little tab here to hold the drill rack up to the top. Hold the tab forward, and of course, it might have somebody else sitting on the other side. But anyways, it will bore a hole. This one is actually, it's a good carnival ride, but you get the idea. There we go. Now we got it. All you do is sit there and rotate like you're pedaling a bicycle with your hands, and a drill bit will drill down in. And pretty much it's the drill bit that keeps digging further into the log. Okay, forgot about this. There's a little gear on the back that you can flip side to side, which helps control the speed. And it allows the drill rack to go back to the top when you reverse direction, just like that. Okay, this is too much fun. I could sit out here all day doing this, but I'm not gonna. So you get the general idea. There, make sure I fasten that. Okay, once again in review, we have the drill press, so to speak, and what's neat about these is they're fully adjustable for angle. Any angle you want to drill at, you can move the whole rack, and it folds down for storage. That was my original intent there. And you can drill at any angle. And now to show you that little, there it is right there. You flip this, and then it'll drill. Flip it back. Now you got to make sure the gears are synchronized here. You can bring it right back to the top, and you secure it. If I can get my hands up here, doing this one-handed is always a party. Okay, and you have your little tab there that secures it. All right, can't ever forget my broad axe. Hand forged, God only knows when. Has a welded bit. God, I love that thing. Found it many years ago. So, there we have it. When men were men, they could do this all day long. A lot of hard work, but it paid off because they had a home, they had a barn, they had a solid structure. Granted, most of them on the frontier did not have these tools, all of these tools. And the Native Americans, they would burn a ring around the bottom of the tree, you know, burning into the tree itself, and that would aid in falling the tree. It would take a lot of work out of cutting. Most of the time they burned them long enough so they would burn almost through. So here we are. Axes, hatchets, adzes, augers, wooden mallets. Well, the wooden mallet had a different purpose. When you get to a knot in a log, instead of just trying to peel the knot up in the log, you would use the wooden mallet to tap on the back of the hewing hatchet to cut through the knot. Because sometimes when you try to hack through a knot without slowly tapping it with a hammer, it'll pull the knot right up and out, leaving a big giant hole behind. So there we are. Another fun-filled demo day. I hope this 15.5-minute video wasn't too boring, but there we are. Enjoy your day, folks. Get out in that sunshine.